Hello, my name is Kevin, and this is Magical Flavor Explosion in your mouth. Today we're going to be making some really delicious homemade dinner rolls. They're really easy, and they are the tastiest motherfucking things you have ever put in your mouth. All you need is some bread flour, not the self-rising kind. You need some sort of sugar. I'm going to use some honey that was given to me. It's local, artisan local, huh? You're also going to need some active dry yeast. And one more thing. Natural sea salt. Wow, Kevin, if you're going to do a cooking show, don't you want to clean your kitchen? No, I don't. There's some dirty ass dishes here. I don't feel like it. We're just going to make some dinner rolls. Let's do it. The first thing that you want to do is get a bowl and put some water in it. I'm just going to use water right out of the tap. It's probably filled with chemicals, and that's what I like in my dinner rolls. I want it to be, kind of lukewarm. And I've probably got about a cup and a half of water here. I don't measure anything. Then put a cat in it. No, just kidding. The first thing we want to do is put a little bit of sugar, or I'm going to use honey, right into the water. I'm not really trying to make the rolls sweet per se. This might add a little bit of a flavor to them, but this is really something for the yeast to eat. Sprinkle it right into the water. Just whisk that all together. And let that sit for just a moment. We're basically letting the yeast come to life. And then once we've given that a moment to do its thing, let nature take its course, we're going to stir in some flour. How much flour? I have no damn idea. I just go by the texture of the dough. So let's just really get some flour going in there. That yeast is so happy. And now I'm going to add some more flour. I mean, all in all, I'm probably going to end up adding like 3 cups of flour. But it really is not a measure thing. It's a feel of the dough thing. And you want it to not be super dry. You still want it to be kind of a wet dough. Now I probably just added too much flour. That's okay. Because I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, this is about where I want it. So it's got some stretchiness to it. It's still pretty wet and it sticks to your fingers. Now I'm going to add... Oh, you know what? Early on I missed an ingredient. We're going to add some salt. Kind of a lot of salt. I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably like 3 tablespoons. I don't know. The other ingredient I forgot to mention is some olive oil. This is probably like a 1/4 cup of olive oil. And then mix that together. And we're going to go ahead and turn this out onto the counter. So we're just going to kind of fold it and press it. This is just how I do it. This is just fast and easy. Fold it over. Give it a little push. So you actually want to do this for like a full 10 minutes. Like maybe even set a timer. Because you'll probably do it for like 2 minutes and go, hasn't it been 10 minutes yet? And it probably just hasn't. So again, it's pretty sticky. You don't want it to be wet. But the point of when you really start to beat it like this, after a couple of minutes, it starts to take on kind of an elasticity, and it's very sticky, but I can get it off my hands. Okay, now if it gets too sticky, I like to use one of these. I bought this at the hardware store. It's actually meant for spackling walls, but it's great for getting really wet, sticky dough off your counter. Okay, I like to fold the ends over like that. Maybe a couple of times. Fold it over, and then start to form it into a tight ball. And once I've got a little ball going, I'm going to drop this into, see, it's so sticky, a little bowl, and I'm going to let that rest for a couple of hours. So let's let that do its thing, and we'll be right back. All right, it's been a couple of hours. Our dough has doubled in size. We're now going to go ahead and divide this up into our dinner rolls. Also, go ahead and preheat your oven. You want it hot. Every oven is different. My oven is kind of old and shitty. I crank it as high as it will go. You want your oven blazing hot. And put a pan of water in there too, because you want it hot and steamy. That's what she said. All right, go ahead and get a little flour going on your counter. Pull this out of the bowl. And let's go ahead and start making these up into little balls. I guess how big you want them is up to you, really. But we're gonna just tuck that under and put it on our pan. Little tiny dinner rolls, they're so cute and tasty. All your friends will like you more. When you bring these to dinner, they'll say, "Oh my God, he made homemade dinner rolls. He must be really good in bed." I don't know what those things have to do with each other. I'm really great at making dinner rolls, and I'm terrible in bed. All right, scramble an egg with a little bit of water in it, a little waterier than you would make scrambled eggs with. I'm using a paper towel. I guess if you're fancy, you could have one of those brushes. But I don't have one of those. All I have is this shitty paper towel. So just a little light layer of egg wash over the top of these. One, it's going to hold the seasoning that I'm going to put on there. Sesame seeds. This is a little sea salt and garlic grinder. It's a little bit of Italian herbs. Kind of just whatever you want. This is just what I personally like. And now you want to, I have a little X-Acto knife that I use. Go along and give each of them a little slash of some sort. You can do a cross if you want. You've got to do it kind of fast and brutal. A serrated knife also works. And now they're ready to go in the oven. Once you're sure your oven is as hot as it can get with a boiling pan of water so it's nice and steamy, let's go ahead and pop these in the oven. And after about 15 to 20 minutes, behold, the dinner roll. A satisfying down-home addition to any meal. Easy to do. Next time, impress your friends with homemade dinner rolls. And that's today's edition of Magical Flavor Explosion in your mouth.